Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. This video is just gonna be comic books. We're gonna talk about different Marvel. We're gonna talk about some DC. So it's just gonna be random, more than likely. Got my boy MG. Finally could catch up with him. It's been a while. And we got Mitchel. You check out his channel. I did a video with him. We were talking about DareDevil season 2, and he watches all these shows. He gets into the comic book movies, TV shows. So you know he knows what he's talking about. But we're gonna quickly get into it. And what I wanted to start out with is Civil War. I know it's been about 3 weeks, and of course there's spoilers. And if you haven't seen it in 3 weeks, you're probably not gonna see it. But we're gonna get into that first. I know X-Men Apocalypse doesn't it come out tonight or is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow, well, as far as I know, a lot of theaters are showing it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah. I guess we could talk about this. You know, we could talk about that a little bit and some of the because I've been hearing things from different people. I know people have seen it early.
Very
yeah.
Batman versus Superman-esque reception so far from what I've been seeing.
I've heard up and down.
Yeah. But
to the point people are tired of Magneto being the villain in every movie.
I heard people just sick of Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, I've been sick of her, but I mean, if you really think about it, Magneto's been the villain in every movie.
Yeah, but get somebody like. Oh wait, but it's supposed to be Apocalypse though.
Oh my God!
No, apparently it is Apocalypse, but yeah, I've heard the same thing about Jennifer Lawrence. She's just boring. She has no purpose. She's just there.
Well, we all know Magneto's part of the.
He's one of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, like and apparently he's got a major like ridiculously big role in the movie.
And I also heard Storm's not in it, but she's one of the Horsemen. Like, what the fuck? How do you not like? I'm probably gonna check the movie out just to see. Yeah, but
I'll probably be seeing it this weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about quickly talk about Civil War first. I guess what did you guys think about it? Spoilers and all. About the whole movie, and I guess where would you rank it amongst the movies? I know it's kind of abrupt to have a ranking, but you know, let me know what you guys think about it. What do you guys think about Civil War? What did you like? What did you not like?
As far as where I would rank it, I'd put it as probably the third Captain America movie. I still like Winter Soldier the best out of the three. And I thought the first Avenger I think the first Avenger is very overlooked, if you ask me. Especially considering that they had to do it in a different time period.
Yeah.
That was way back then. I thought that movie was really good. And then as far as just like on the Avengers movie scale, definitely wasn't better than the first Avengers, which I still think is probably the best one so far. Age of Ultron, I don't know, I kind of feel the same way about it I feel about Age of Ultron, where there's some good things, definitely some good fighting scenes, but then just some things that I just didn't like. Black Panther easily stole the show.
Yeah.
It's not even close. From the way Chadwick Boseman acted as the character, to the writing for the character, to how he looked, to how he fought, they got that right.
Yeah.
And
accent and all.
That's very important for a character who, people know of, but they don't really they're not really, informed about, And so, Marvel did a great job of actually taking a movie that was supposed to be about something else, other people, and making Black Panther probably one of the most anticipated Marvel releases over the next 2 years.
Especially after hearing that, about the cast and everything.
So they did a great job with that. Chadwick Boseman did a great job. The kid who played Spiderman, I can't remember his name.
Tom Holland. Yeah, you got it.
He did a really good job as Spider-Man. Got the wittiness down of Spider-Man. I mean, you heard him cracking jokes in the fight scene with Bucky and cracking jokes with Tony. Only issue that I had is that the time period where they picked up. Like personally, I would have liked to have seen them kind of not. Me and Calvin trying to figure out the time period. It was like 6 months after he got his powers. You know, I kind of would have liked to see them pick up where he had already been like the full-on Spider-Man at that point, and then Tony offered him the Iron Spider suit to get into the battle or something like that.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them do that because I don't know where they're going to be picking up in the Homecoming movie as far as like time-wise. So that's
supposed to be.
It's going to be after.
He's going to be in high school. It's going to be after Civil War. Yeah. But it's going to be like the first adventures of like real Spider-Man and Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I know they just got who did they get was it Sutherland?
For what?
Just signed on as the villain of Spider-Man. They got
no. They said Keaton.
Yeah, that's right. Keaton. That's who it is. Keaton. He's going to be playing the villain in the movie. So
I wonder who he's going to be. I was first off like, who is he going to be?
Got to be Goblin or Vulture. I can't see him playing anybody else.
Yeah,
I think it would be Vulture. I've heard about Vulture.
Yeah.
I think they already casted a Norman Osborn, so.
Okay. They probably want to get these guys out because there's probably still plans to do a Sinister Six, and I know they've been working on a Venom thing too. So,
but isn't Sony
Sony
doing that though? And it's not part of what's called the Sinister Six?
Yeah, but with the relationship they have now, I wouldn't be surprised if they worked on some type of deal where they'll be debuting some of these characters for them in Spider-Man, at least. And I think, honestly, because I think this is going to be another big thing we'll see here in the future. I think eventually you see Fox and Marvel work something out too. Hopefully. With that, because I mean, you look at the Fantastic Four.
They just need to give them Fantastic Four.
Completely dived. And then you're kind of looking at the path of X-Men right now. It almost feels inevitable that they work out some type of deal here. It just feels like it. But going back to the movie, I thought that was good. I thought Paul Rudd as Ant-Man was really good, even though his role was very minimal outside of the Giant Man spot. I thought he was really good in the movie. I thought the acting in the movie was good. I didn't have a problem with any of the acting. And just some story issues that I had an issue with, like Wanda not even thinking about Quicksilver. They didn't even mention Quicksilver in the movie.
That was
like her brother never existed.
They didn't show any kind. That was confusing. Why they didn't at least mention him once, you know?
Yeah, like she had more remorse for the people she killed in the building than her brother dying. Like I didn't understand that all the way. But them kind of opening the gates for really exploring her powers, because I mean, in the comics, she is one of the more powerful characters. So they opened the door for that. I didn't think they did a good job with Vision. I think they made Vision look pretty weak, if you ask me. Me and Calvin were talking about this before we got on the air about how strong he is, and he probably could have demolished basically almost anybody. But I would have liked to at least seen them kind of explore his, him kind of getting into his powers, at least, where he's kind of discovering what he's capable of or something along those lines. I didn't like the fact, like, the whole scene where he shot Rhodes was kind of awkward. Because it was, like, after the fact, like, I know he doesn't have any emotions or anything, but it was just, like, blankness. I was like, yeah, you gotta do something. I mean, he's just playing chess at the end of the movie. I'm like, okay, what's this gonna do? So, that part I had an issue with. And then the ending. I didn't like the ending. We didn't get the super soldier fight, which we had all.
They teased that.
They teased like 18 super soldiers. I mean, at least give me the one dude who was beating Bucky ass in the flashbacks. I mean, give me something. And and then the scene with the ending as far as the fight with Cap and Tony. I wish it would have went a little further and at least teased Tony getting somewhat killed until you got to the mid-credit scenes where you show him in bed getting a letter from Steve instead of sitting at a table getting a letter from Steve.
Yeah, it probably ended a little bit too lighthearted, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody thought there was going to be a death of something in this movie, and they were teasing something's going to happen major to a character that's going to change everything. No, it didn't. So that part was, a little bit disappointing, but overall, though, I still felt like it was solid. The action in the movie was really good, and I think they did a good job of getting to the point of why they're fighting. Yeah. Unlike Batman versus Superman, I feel like they did that better than Batman versus Superman, where everything was explained a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
obviously, T'Challa had his reasons for getting into it, and then you had Tony and Tony, who was going through some shit with the kid being killed in Sokovia, so that's why he wanted to do it, and Steve having his reasons, and then even down to Ant-Man. I mean, Ant-Man's main reason for being there is because he hates Tony.
No, he was the reason he was on. Well, that was one of the reasons, and he was also a cat fanboy.
Well, yeah, a cat fanboy. So he had his reasons for being there. Obviously, Tony going to recruit Spider-Man. They had their little technology, tech talk and whatnot. And there's Tony sees a little bit of himself in Peter, which was something there. And then you had Black Widow having her reasons and her switching sides, and everybody had a reason to be there. And I think they did a good job of explaining that.
Yeah.
So. Overall, I thought it was solid, but there's definitely some things that I think they could have done better.
I think I like the movie. I think I would rate it probably fourth out of all the Marvel movies. It was one of my favorite Marvel movies, actually. I enjoyed the action. I think the action was definitely the best part of the movie, like MG said. They did a good job of, with the emotion, just with Iron Man and Captain America. Obviously, they've been building this universe over, 15 films or something. So, instead of Batman vs. Superman, where MG brought that up, they didn't do so well with connecting why they were fighting each other. But when you have 15 movies to connect why they're fighting each other, it's kind of a lot easier to do that. So, Captain America and Iron Man, they were obviously the stars of the show, and they definitely made them feel like that. Black Widow was sort of a problem for me. She just didn't seem in any place. She was back and forth. I get that that's sort of her character, but she didn't really even have a place in the film to me. She didn't do anything important. Winter Soldier, I kind of got annoyed about Bucky and Cap kind of having this bromance thing. Everything, Cap was blinded by how much he his friendship with the Winter Soldier and everything. That was a little annoying, but I get why it was in the film, obviously, because it's following the events of the Winter Soldier. It's a big deal, but still, it just kind of, I don't know, dragged it down for me. Falcon, actually, they made him seem a lot tougher than the last movie. He had a lot more gadgets and stuff to work with, and he just seemed like a more complete hero. Black Panther, Spider-Man, the new introductions to those two characters. Spider-Man, to me, stole the show. Obviously, I told you guys off air, Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes. Him and Batman are my two favorite superheroes of all time. And to see them to do Spider-Man so well at the beginning, even the way that Tony goes into his house, he's got this computer from the 80s and all this old stuff. He's a poor kid. He has this poor suit. That's basically what Peter Parker is. He's a teenager. And then when he's fighting with them, he's like, oh, hey, Cap, you're my hero, stuff like that. That's how a normal teenager would react to fighting with Captain America, that sort of thing. In that one fight scene, obviously the big fight scene at the airport, I did like it. There was a lot of good moments to it. But then again, there was a little bit over the top, use of humor when Black Panther actually was just he basically shrugged all the jokes off. He's like, no, I'm just gonna hit you. I'm not gonna make a joke about this. You guys said, pretty much everything about Black Panther. He was awesome.
Nonsense, man.
Yeah, no nonsense. I get that Spider-Man's making jokes because he's a kid, but then when Cap is making jokes, when does Cap really make jokes in a fight? That doesn't make sense to me.
There's a whole scene with Spider-Man where you asked him where he was from.
Yeah,
he's he got heart,
a little bit. It's just a little bit over the top.
Honestly,
there's times to have the comedy and times not to have the comedy. When you're trying to beat someone up or trying to I don't know, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but when you're fighting someone, you don't want to be joking around with them. You want to beat their ass. Zemo was pretty cool for the most part at the beginning. But I felt like at the end, towards the end, he kind of just became like you forgot about him by the end of the movie. I forgot what his name was like 20 minutes after the movie ended. Like he just kind of was there to put the pieces together, but he wasn't really important. And that's another Marvel villain that disappointed to me because Marvel's never really had a great villain other than maybe Loki, who was kind of important. But other than that, like
he played the Mandarin role basically, like from Iron Man 3, where he wasn't really doing much. He was just moving pieces.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what Lex Luthor was supposed to do in Batman vs Superman. But a lot of people like expect Lex Luthor to be like a huge villain, obviously, because he's Lex Luthor. But Zemo was just there, and overall, like I said, probably my fourth overall favorite movie. I still think Winter Soldier, like the Avengers, is the best, probably. Iron Man, the first one, Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy probably would be pretty close. I think this one and Guardians are pretty close. But like those 4 or 5 films, I think it's definitely a top 5 Marvel film. So I did really enjoy it.
Okay. Where I would have it ranked, I have Winter Soldier higher. I have the first Iron Man. I have the first Avengers higher. I got about around where you have it at, Mitchell.
I still got Guardians. I forgot to mention Guardians. I know Mitchell mentioned it. That movie, man, the writing on that movie and just the imagery of that movie. I mean, there were a couple of parts like the ending that was kind of but that movie as a whole was that to me that might be their best piece of work as far as this Marvel thing, man.
What it did though was like it's just like characters that nobody really knew until this movie, and they made them blow up. Like that's exactly what that movie did.
And everything was perfect in it. I mean, you had that comedic relief, obviously with Star-Lord, and you had Batista as Drax, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora, and Rocket and Groot, obviously, and the writing on that. And just the imagery of that movie, I think, is better than any other Marvel movie as far as colors and just visually. I think that's been the best Marvel movie so far. Obviously, they had the advantage of being in space versus some of the other movies, but
it really expanded the scope of the universe. It's like, you see what's going. Like, okay, you got something that's completely unrelated to the Avengers, but it's going on obviously like the same universe, and
the writing was the best. That was the best written movie out of all of them to me.
I don't know. I think it's Winter Soldier.
Ooh, I probably had Winter Soldier 2 for me. They're both close though.
And just to have Chris Pratt in your movie, like this guy's been on a tear. I think he's one of the best actors around. Like
he was pretty good in the Jurassic Park movie. I like him in that.
Yeah. He'll be in the first Infinity War movie.
Yeah,
so
they said they're gonna be there.
Him and Captain Marvel.
Oh, she's gonna be in it before her movie.
Yeah, they confirmed. Yeah, she's going to be in there, and so is Star-Lord.
Who are they going to get to play her?
I don't know. They still haven't cast her yet.
Wow.
They might have though. They might just be. Marvel's really good at keeping stuff under wraps, so they might already have a name.
Mm-hmm. But let me see. I know we all were bringing up the airport scene. I think the one reason why. Because honestly, that would be something Kat would say, believe it or not. Because
I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that specific joke that MG brought up to me. It was just like the amount of jokes that there were in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't trying to really hurt each other in that particular scene. They were doing just in that scene. You could tell they weren't trying to really hurt it. It wasn't until the end to where they were like Cap and Iron Man were going 100%.
Yeah.
And that fight at the airport scene, they were essentially just trying to stop him. So you just you look at it and a lot of them they weren't serious. And you know Spider-Man's gonna give a bunch of jokes, and I like Spider-Man. One thing y'all didn't mention, this is how authentic they wanted to make Spider-Man. His accent.
Oh yeah,
New York, because Spider-Man's from Queens, he has the accent.
Well,
and they've got that in the movie, and no other movie has done that.
Honestly, like to me, the perfect Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man 2. I don't know if they'll ever do a better Spider-Man movie than that.
I hated Spider-Man 2.
Like
I
really liked the first Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Like not Amazing Spider-Man, but Amazing Spider-Man I thought was crap. Like those are two of the worst movies.
I liked Garfield. I didn't like the movie.
He was a good Spider-Man. He wasn't a good Peter Parker, but he was a good Spider-Man.
I just feel like Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire were like, they got the character. And that's what I liked from what they got in this movie too. So.
Yeah. I think Holland's going to do a pretty good job in Homecoming. He's going to do a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think he will. He's a good choice.
Yeah. But Black Panther is probably my favorite part of the movie because, you know, he had a couple instances where he, like, the jokes just went right off of him. Like, because I remember, what was it? Hawkeye said, "Hi, I'm Clint. I don't care."
Yeah, that was
care.
what I was referring to. Like, that's how I would react.
And he just
he was out for blood though. He was.
There was a scene. Let me see if I can remember word for word. This is not the whole the script. What he said. He said, as a warrior and a king. He said, as a warrior and a king, how long do you think you can keep your friends safe from me? I was like, yep, he's a fucking badass. And he just told Cap straight to Black Widow.
Was he talking to Cap or was he talking to?
No, he was talking to Cap.
Oh, that's after they got caught after the freeway scene.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
The Cap was trying to stop him all the time. That scene was nice. I mean, what was
that was Black Panther's best scene.
Yeah. Like these motherfuckers running like 60 miles an hour on the road, and when a soldier took his metal arm, literally just snatched the bike from the dude, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas style, just
mid-air.
Like wow, that scene was really, really good. And then they even went into where they show his bodyguard. I know y'all remember what his bodyguard talked to. She said move or get moved, I think, to Black Widow. And, you know, a lot of people don't know who that is, but they fought in the comics. Black Widow and his bodyguard fought in the comics. And
yeah, they gotta do something with Black Widow. Her character's no good if they're not, unless they're exploring her backstory. Like, that's really the only time her character really shines.
Should have had a movie, man.
That's why I thought she was at her strongest in Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about making her one of the.
When it was just her and Cap, she was really good in Winter Soldier. She was one. And then her early fight scenes. I don't know about you, but the camera work was
way better
with her.
Well, right now it seems like they're trying to hide the stunt. They're trying to hide the stunt double too much, where it's all these quick shots.
Yeah. And
then quick cuts. That's exactly what it feels like to me.
It was pretty bad. But
apparently she's gonna have a big role in. Apparently she's supposed to be one of the main roles in the Captain Marvel movie. Like from what I've been seeing, it might end up being more. It's gonna be billed as Captain Marvel, but from what I'm seeing, it's probably gonna end up more like Captain Marvel in Black Widow in terms of how it plays out on screen.
You see, they're doing it because they're doing it with Thor Ragnarok with
Hulk. Yeah.
Hulk. But there's a lot of legal.
Billed as one person, but
there's a lot of legal.
Can I just say that I fully expect that movie to be trash?
I don't know, man.
Marvel's been hitting on new characters, man.
You talking about Captain Marvel or Thor 3?
I'm talking about Thor.
Ugh, please don't be trash. I can't. Look, Thor is one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I cannot live with another bad one.
Comic book, it won't.
I don't like Thor, and I don't really like Hulk either. So maybe that's why.
That's cool. Okay.
But
the first Thor movie was garbage.
I think it can honestly be just based on what happened in Ragnarok it's pretty much the end of times for in Norse, and Thor, as you know in the comic, he dies, but we know they change this around. But if he follows the comic and he dies, I think it's a big impact. I think it could be a very I think it could be good, but I don't know.
Oh, he died trying to save it. I mean, what's it called? After he got his Odin powers.
Yeah.
He died trying to kill what's it called? What's the name blanking my mind right now?
But the Thor movie has clearly been the weakest of all the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's clearly been the weakest.
Oh, if he gets his Odin force, bro, that shit is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Zemo, I did want to touch on him. they got him wrong in this movie in comparison to his comic counterpart. I didn't mention that in my review, but Baron Zemo was a Hydra scientist, so I mean, now he completely changed. He didn't have to be there for, everything could have still played out the way it did without him being there. He was honestly just like a throw-in.
It just seemed like everything just falls into place for him too.
Yeah. I mean, his plan was pretty good, but like I said, he didn't have to be there. I mean, the whole movie was Cap versus Iron Man, essentially. That was the whole movie.
Yeah.
You could just play off that because honestly, throughout the movie, you could a lot of just based on the way it was going, you would switch. Cap's right here, or Iron Man's right here. Because I could definitely point out a time where I think Cap was right with when he said they're going to use us as like a private military. They're going to put us where they want us to be and keep us away from where we need to be. I remember that line. I really that sounds like Cap. That's how he is. That's why he. That's why he. That's just how Cap is. He was like that in the comics. His almost blind loyalty to Bucky. His childhood friend, someone he blamed himself for during World War II, and blamed himself for that was that why he was the way he was in Winter Soldier. So that's why he was really trying to protect them, and essentially he was right. He was innocent of the crimes that they were accusing him of.
I get what you're saying about Zemo though, because honestly, Bucky's still technically a warranted guy. I mean, a wanted guy. Yeah. So you didn't need that excuse of the whole, his childless father getting killed. And then the scene at the end with, him, Tony finding out that Bucky killed his parents. I mean, that didn't even have to be Zemo showing him that. It could have really been Tony being a computer genius and finding out.
Yeah.
Trying to do some digging on him accessing shield files or something like that and finding out about it.
Yeah, I think they definitely could have reworked it and took Zemo out of it because it was about the Avengers team essentially splitting.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like I said, I still have Iron Man 1, Avengers, and Winter Soldier. All to me are better movies, but Civil War's been pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the action. I think, as we said, introduced Black Panther, introduced Spiderman. Didn't have to tell a backstory to these characters. Even with the Tony Stark and Spider-Man meeting, they kind of like every time Spider-Man tried to explain like himself, like I guess how he got his powers, which guy would just talk over him. It was almost like the fans, a lot of the fans didn't want to see a Spider-Man origin, and they kind of put that into the script where Tony was just talking over him and keeping from even explaining that. And then Black Panther, they showed his motives. Now it's one of the more anticipated Marvel movies, especially after seeing the cast, with Michael B. Jordan. I don't know if I'm saying her name wrong. Lupita's supposed to be in this, and they even talked about filming some of the scenes in Africa. So I mean, they're trying to get it really close to how it is in the comics.
And the nice thing about it though was just like it didn't feel forced at all.
No, it didn't feel like he was just thrown in there. It gave a reason why he was there. So it was a good introduction. But what about we could stay on the Marvel topic. What about some of these TV shows? I think I told you guys off air. And they were talking about Blade. They were talking about Ghost Rider. They were talking about Moon Knight, which could be really good. Moon Knight is freaking insane. And we know a Punisher TV shows.
Oh yeah,
got green lighted. You still got Luke Cage. You still got another Jessica Jones. You still got Iron Fist. You still got Defenders. So you can see they're trying to do a lot with these TV shows.
Well, the Netflix shows. I don't watch the actual TV shows.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Netflix shows.
The Netflix shows I do watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
both
Daredevil and Jessica Jones are both like two of the best shows out right now. So
yeah, definitely using they uses like comic lore. Definitely two of the best. out there. And Luke Cage, I think they did mention his villain. Twitter, I believe. I think this is recent. Can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up. But looking forward to that because that's definitely going to be a different tone than even Jessica Jones or Daredevil. I mean, all these movies take place in New York. I mean, all these TV shows take place in New York, so lots going down in New York. You got Iron Fist coming out later. That's definitely going to be different because you're going into more
mystical stuff. Finally,
with him using chi.
Yeah.
And
which they kind of explored with the hand in season 2 of Daredevil.
Yeah. You're probably gonna see Elektra sometime in the future, so there's a lot going on with the Netflix shows, and Netflix even has a partnership with Disney, so you can see they're trying to do a lot, and even with the rumors, Wesley Snipes talking about reprising his role as Blade. That's if they plan on doing a Blade show. They need to kind of see. Blade 1 is one of those movies that kind of got over. It's getting overlooked now, but it really.
The third one was so bad.
Yeah, the third
one was so bad. It turned a lot of people off for the entire series.
That's why I think they need to kind of. They need to bring him back and do the character right. Same with Ghost Rider. They have done nothing right with Ghost Rider. The Nicolas Cage movies were awful, trash. They were trash. It's just simple as that. Some of the worst comic movies out. They obviously do have some stiff competition. Moon Knight's character is unknown. He's a guy who has multiple personalities, and I think could work well. Just seeing as how they went through with Jessica Jones' depression and a lot of different emotions. Definitely a different take where Daredevil's a little more action, but Jessica Jones is more about. She had like a psychological battle. She was already fighting an enemy who could really control her mind, make her do things, and essentially you knew you were doing all these things, and you still did them. So I think it's looking pretty good. I don't know how they're gonna incorporate these characters into the movies, just because of the tone of the movies. Like you're not gonna see Punisher in a Marvel movie. It's not gonna happen.
No.
So
I'm very looking forward to Punisher.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. But what do you guys think about everything they're doing with the Netflix shows?
I'm pretty encouraged about it. I mean, we talked about we've done reviews of basically both seasons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did one for season 1 of Daredevil, and we did one for season 2. And then we finally got a chance to watch Jessica. I don't think I've got a chance to watch Jessica Jones the last time we were doing one of these. But I finally sat down and watched that.
It
I've watched it in like 2 days. It was really good, man. Especially like when Netflix video, it automatically plays the next one. And you're like, okay, this is going to be the last one, and then you're sitting there, and 5 seconds after into the credits, play next episode, and I'm like, well, let me just hit play. So I binge watched that, and that was really, really good.
Yeah.
And then Luke Cage coming up. My only fear is everybody misses at some point in time.
Yeah.
And they're on a roll right now.
Yeah.
And my fear is that, let's say Luke Cage is good. And, let's say Iron Fist is good.
They're gonna miss it.
At some point, they're going to miss. And then I don't want that miss to be Defenders.
Yeah, because that's when the team-up happens.
That would be the most likely miss, though.
It would. But that's the issue. Like, they're going to have to miss eventually. And, like, season 2 of Daredevil probably was, like, the most likely just simply because the first season was so good. But they did such a great job in season 2 that it's kind of like, well, I don't know. And honestly, out of all of these shows, I thought Jessica Jones. Yeah, exactly. And I thought Jessica Jones was going to be the one that wasn't the best out of all the shows. But that was wrong. But, if Luke Cage is a big miss, I mean, that's going to be a big hit. Obviously, because, I mean, he plays into so many different parts of the Marvel Universe that people don't realize.
I feel like that wouldn't really matter, though, because he was such a strong part of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, a lot of people liked him in that.
Singular season doesn't work, I don't think it would matter too much.
Yeah, it does, but I don't think they're really going to be drawn to the lines to Jessica Jones as much as people are thinking, though. Because I haven't heard any. I don't think she's even going to be in the season, from what I'm hearing.
Is it like origins of how he got his powers and everything? Is it that?
I believe it's partly origins and partly current. So, because remember at the end of Jessica Jones, he just disappeared.
Yep.
So I don't think they're gonna. If she's on there, it might be like one episode or something. But she's, as far as I've seen, she's not even scheduled to be in it at all. So they're not even gonna be able to like connect the dots on that really, unless there's a quick mention or something. But they're gonna miss eventually, and I just don't want it to be at the worst time possible. But in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy all the shit they do, basically. So. Luke Cage, I'm excited for. Obviously, I'm excited for Iron Fist. I think Iron Fist is getting looked over a lot. I know some people weren't happy with the casting. Obviously, that's always going to be a big thing with people, but I'm cool with it. And then Punisher getting his own spin-off. I'm cool with that. Blade. Hopefully, them bringing Blade back. If it's going to be Snipes or not, who knows? But I'm cool with that. And hopefully, some of these crossovers that need to happen. A Blade and Punisher crossover episode on Netflix would be just ridiculous.
It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, exactly. I'm down with that.
That would be great.
You're open right now. They're opening the doors for so many of these different things, and if they're going to keep adding some characters here, and then. I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to get some rights to some of these other side characters, because we haven't really seen many. Like Punisher was the first real side character in these that we got a glimpse of. So you never know. Some of these other side characters might pop up. Like at one point in time on Jessica Jones, who her friend can't think of her name, but she was a hero in the comics too.
That's probably what they're gonna do with her.
Her. I forgot her name too, but I know
Trish. Her name was Trish in the show, right? Yeah. So she I can't remember what her name was in comics, but she was something as well. So, these side characters are gonna start to develop at some point in time, and then you're gonna get something with these people. So right now, it's basically like. Back in the day, like Mitchell said 15 years ago, we didn't know Marvel was really going for this ridiculously giant expanded universe. But right now it feels like with the Netflix part, it feels like they're going for that, and we know it now, so we kind of know what to expect, and so it kind of gives you a little bit of foresight and a little bit more information in terms of what they're trying to accomplish here. So I'm cool with that. Okay. Definitely get Ghost Rider right, please. Yeah. Nick Cage.
Trash. They keep. I only want he shouldn't even his Netflix should be banned from if they make a show, his Netflix should be banned from watching it. Nick Cage,
there's a list of worst Marvel there's a list of the 3 worst Marvel movies, and all 3 of them are Netflix properties right now. Daredevil, they turned that around. Yep. They turned Punisher around. And now Ghost Rider has to be turned around.
Yeah, they have to do it right. Blade 3 was bad, but at least it was good at some point.
1 was good, 2 was halfway decent. It wasn't completely bad. So at least he had a little bit more something. But the 3 worst Marvel movies outside, not named Fantastic Four or X-Men, they've been done justice here. So it would be nice to see, some of these other characters, and then can we get Silver Surfer just back from Fox?
No, let me tell you what they need to get back. Dr. fucking Doom.
Oh, yep.
He has been done such an injustice. He's one of the best villains in Marvel, and he's been done.
Blew everything up. He was the villain.
He's been done such an injustice by Fox. Even with those original Fantastic Fours, it was still bad. Those are actually on Netflix. It's better than that remake Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's still not a good portrayal of Doom. It's still not a good portrayal of Doom. They just have not gotten them right, and I think I'll just have to get that. They just have to get all that back.
The most powerful villain in all of the universe, and Galactus over there.
One. You got Galactus. Of course, you're sitting on Silver Surfer. You're sitting on. a lot of those properties. And it's not including, of course, what they sit on top of the mutants and stuff. But they definitely got to get the Fantastic Four back. I honestly think they could do it right. I mean, if you could do Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think you could do just about any movie. That's why a lot of people are like, okay, when is the... Well, you could say Thor was probably the stinker that they did make.
Yeah.
A lot of people say like that first Hulk movie. I thought that first Hulk
That
movie...
sucks, too, because Thor's one of the more powerful beings in fucking comics.
Yeah, he's really weak in... He's really weak in the movies. Definitely.
I mean,
comparison.
I don't like Thor. I already told you guys. So
Yeah.
no comment.
Yeah, but I mean, Odin Force Thor is a dude who can go head to head with Galactus. He's not just some normal, like, superhero like they're making him out to be with everybody else. Like, Thor at his most powerful is probably stronger than a good, 95% of characters in Marvel?
I'd put it like it's 80s and 80%.
80%, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
And Hulk is just a hard character to do in a movie, like by himself.
Bro, if they had the rights to the solo rights, Planet Hulk would be good because it went into Hulk actually having a character, not just being a green monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends on who's writing it too, because I mean,
yeah,
obviously,
but they can't do it. So I mean,
I don't know if they would like. That's all they've shown so far with Hulk is that he's a green monster.
Yeah.
The only thing they do.
Yeah.
Oh, he plays background.
It sells too, though.
Yeah, it sells. But
it does, but it's kind of like it's just like with obviously Captain America. Captain America, they made this man look invincible.
They have.
Yeah,
he's a beast. Don't get me wrong. He's a beast. But some of these more powerful supernatural beings, I mean, come on, he's still a man. You just got super strength now.
That's why when like him and Spiderman were fighting, and Spiderman was kind of getting the upper hand, I was like, oh, thank you.
I mean, it's like come on, you have a god in Thor, Captain America.
No, Captain America needs a boyfriend.
Like, you know, like I get it, you know, but like I said, there's more powerful beings at work here than humans. Like, there's no way Captain America should just be walking up and punching everybody.
Throughout the movies, like, especially in Civil War, this man took a beating. He took a beating.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he took a beating. I remember in Winter Soldier, he got hit with a grenade at close range or something like that. And he got knocked through a bus, got back up, no damage. I understand he's a super soldier, but damn.
Might as well have John Cena play him.
That's pretty much what he is.
Like
they turned him into hell. Even at least Iron Man at one point in time got so fucked up he lost his suit and he had to rebuild Iron Man 3.
Iron Man has been one of the weakest characters, like in terms of in battle. Like, yeah, to me, Robert Downey Jr. is the strongest actor out of all of them, but he's always made to look like he's the weakest in a fight. So
they definitely depowered and I think that's one thing DC definitely got right. The characters still, you know, Superman, Wonder Woman, they looked powerful, but you know, in the Marvel, Thor didn't look as powerful. Hulk, yeah, he's probably the closest in terms of just, you know, looking powerful. Cap probably looks too powerful. And Iron Man, while Robert Downey Jr. has done a good job, he just, you know, I guess he hasn't done the ridiculousness of the comics, but there's a lot of comics to you know, really take information from. But, yeah, I could definitely say they've definitely been weaker, but the movies themselves have been good, and I think a lot of people overlook, I guess, just the power disparity between the movies and the comics. But
some people,
let me see.
They just gotta chill on some people.
What y'all think about? I don't think I mentioned this. What y'all think about the Doctor Strange trailer?
I think it looks weird.
That's how it's supposed to look.
Which I'm cool with.
I just think it. I don't know if it's gonna work. I guess that's what I mean by weird. I don't know if it's gonna get over some people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on, obviously the writing and them kind of taking the right angle with the character. A lot of people aren't familiar with Doctor Strange, and he's got a really big part in the universe.
But every time people say like we don't know who Doctor Strange, y'all didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy. None of those characters from Guardians of the Galaxy was like, it worked. It's like, but after seeing that movie, I thought anything, just as long as it was done right, I thought anything Marvel put out could, potentially be good. Just in terms of characters.
The trailer is just, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, the advantage that Guardians has though is they have an ensemble cast of people that are already pretty well known.
Yeah.
So you got more chances to catch somebody's eye. Like if somebody doesn't like Star-Lord, they'll like maybe they like Gamora, maybe they like or Rocket or something like that. But on this one, it's just Benedict Cumberbatch. So if people don't like him, then the movie is gonna automatically go down.
And comedy, the comedy factor too. Guardians was full of comedy.
Yeah, it was lighthearted. It was more so lighthearted. So I'm excited for Doctor Strange personally. I'm really looking forward to them kind of getting into the world of this. And then his movie's going to play a big part of what's to come in terms of the Infinity War too. So
I'm pretty sure in Doctor Strange there will be a gem.
Oh yeah, on his necklace probably.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious to see what they do in terms of as far as villain goes, and as far as how much of it is an origin story. Because sometimes you get movies where they get into it really quickly, and then the rest of the movie is current time.
Think about it though.
Deadpool.
I think it's gonna be quick because that trailer. I guess it's because I know his origin story, but that you watch the trailer again, you can understand his origin story. Like,
oh yeah,
the Doctor Strange, you can understand his origin story. I guess aside from all
true,
the weird stuff.
Thinking about it now,
he got into a car wreck because it showed his car in the water. You saw his hands was messed up. They showed his hands, and obviously, how did he get it fixed? He's he's essentially a wizard, so magic fixed his hands. So I think the origin is going to be pretty quick, just based on them really showing it in the trailer. Pretty much, letting everybody know in the trailer. So I can understand why people are saying, because I do have some issues with some of the casting. Tilda Swinton, she's going to be the Ancient One. So you got a white female playing the Ancient One, who's an older Asian man. And then you got Baron Mordo being played by a black guy. Everyone knows Baron Mordo's white. But, maybe, like I said, a lot of people don't know who these characters are, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think that's why they went with that. As long as the movie's good, I won't have
visuals
visuals
are going to be a big thing for this movie.
What is that?
More, I said visuals for this movie are going to be a big thing, more so, almost as much as any Marvel movie, maybe outside of Legend.
Yeah,
outside
just
of
the amount of shit that can happen
Guardians.
in a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, and obviously there's going to be a lot of different, like you said, a lot of different stuff is going to be happening, and that's going to be a big part of his character because he does use magic. Yeah. And so the visuals are going to be it's almost like you have the potential to do something great with this, or, which from the trailer they're obviously not going to do this, but it's almost like the Green Lantern movie where the visuals were so bad, so bad, and they had so much potential with that. So it's definitely not going to be that Green Lantern movie. I am 100% sure of that.
Yeah.
But they can't fail visually with this movie.
Yeah.
They cannot fail because that is a big part of people being able to understand and connect with Doctor Strange. That's going to be a big part of it. Because he's not one of the superheroes who's going to fight you hand and fist, basically. I mean, he will, but I mean, he's not a Captain America who's gonna, hand and fist fight you, or he's not a Thor, or he's not a DareDevil, who's gonna fight you hand and fist. He's got powers.
Yep.
Real powers. So, just like Iron Man with, obviously with his beams, how that looks visually good, and that's part of selling the actual character and the powers. It's gonna be big with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, definitely.
They got to put Spider-Man. They got to have him and Spider-Man in some scenes together because those two together are funny.
Who?
Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, they were.
They are funny.
Yeah, definitely in comics. The movie's gonna. just the simple fact that, you know, if you ever read any Doctor Strange comics, those comics get weird. Like, with just him going to different universes, him going to different dimensions. You saw in the trailer where it was almost like some Inception. And this is the one thing I had a problem with some people. Like, obviously, they don't know much about Doctor Strange. A lot of people like comparing that particular scene directly to Inception. It's like, where it was like you saw the city, then you like saw a city on top of that, then you saw cities from the side, and you saw cities from the bottom. Like, it was.
Well, if it's anything like Inception, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Thing about it, Doctor Strange has been doing that since the 70s. Like, those comics have been doing weird shit like that since the 70s. So
yeah,
that's just the nature. I mean, I think it's something different though. It's something different. You're dealing with magic. Could possibly have a different tone than the other movies. And I think that's what the people that did say good things about it were that it just felt, it felt like something different than what Marvel has already been doing. It's definitely a change of pace than the other movies.
He's opening up the doors for so many possibilities, like you said, because he obviously can travel, through dimensions, and I think he's probably going to be. I mean, obviously Star-Lord, but I think between him and Star-Lord, you're going to be able to connect the dots with the whole, Infinity War thing.
I wonder where it takes place, because I don't think any of the Avengers stuff gets mentioned. When does it take place?
As far as Doctor Strange?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They haven't mentioned.
They've been vague about any information dealing with that movie.
That's another thing that worries me too, is the marketing for this. I don't think it's going to be great.
I think it's going to pick up.
I think you're looking at more so along the Ant-Man lines of marketing, which worries me.
It's crazy. Ant-Man did do pretty good still.
Yeah.
It did, but it's still kind of looked at as one of the more unimportant Marvel properties out there right now, which I don't think Doctor Strange deserves at all.
Yeah, because he's definitely one of the more important characters in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what worries me about that, and it almost feels like for a Doctor Strange thing, it almost feels like it should be a Netflix property, but at the same time you want it on the big screen.
Yeah.
To get what I'm saying in terms of just the tone of the show. I mean, of the movie, it should be.
Do y'all guys want to do the DC stuff, a separate video? Do y'all want to just different segment on this video?
It's up to you.
Okay, we get in the video and we do another one, so the video won't be too damn long. But
right.
give me outros, guys. YouTube channel, Twitter.
Go ahead, Mitchell.
My YouTube channel is The Bottom Line View. I've been in some videos with Calvin, so you might know me or might not. And Twitter @Mitch Milani.
Yeah, and as usual, I'm always on BlissSportsNetwork.com. I don't really tweet that much, so there's no point in me giving out my Twitter. But I really don't. I might tweet once or twice a week at this point. But I'm on BlissSportsNetwork.com, pretty much just talking sports and wrestling, pretty much.
And if you guys like this video, of course, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. And my Twitter is Calvin Pod, of course. I'm starting to get like MG. I don't tweet as much, I've been tweeting a little bit more just because of I'm talking comics, and of course, you got the NBA playoffs going on. But other than that, really, I haven't been tweeting as much. But hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and all that. We out.